Good evening, afternoon, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Midweek Mix-Up podcast. And this week we are delighted to have ID Xbox and Steam developer from Resting Relic, Joe from Song of Iron on to celebrate the launch of his new game. Eventually, we're saying this. It feels like it's been forever.
I know. Tell me about it.
But congratulations, huge congratulations from us, and I had an absolute joy reviewing the game myself, completing it twice in a very short period.
Thank you. Thanks for having me too. I really appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. And how have you been since the launch? How have you been feeling?
It is a bizarre thing. I mean, I think my emotions have probably hit every peak, up, down, and left and right at the over the course of the last day. It's weird, putting it out. Generally, it's all been really positive responses from people, so that makes me really happy. And a lot of messages from people who've beaten it that it just really, really liked it, and it impacted them in a really cool way. And that really is that all you want to hear when you make something for other people, and so it's not without its problems. So I've got some work to do, but I'm happy and looking forward to keeping going now.
Yes, most definitely, because the plans, and judging by, at least from what I've seen anyways, the amount of people are really enjoying the game from our community and onwards, even people I haven't seen or spoken to myself personally, but from other, this is another thing that has kind of benefited you being on so many different podcasts, is the widespread kind of knowledge that people have now of the game and people looking forward to it. And then I see more and more people playing it, and larger creators and smaller creators, and then even seeing Sarah Bond.
I know her tweet,
I was like, oh, is it the big time?
Phil Spencer retweeted me yesterday. That was fun.
Nice.
All those funny little this I didn't expect in my life for kind of like weird things, but so that's all really, really exciting. Yeah, the Xbox family, if you will, has been super supportive, and I mean with the fans especially. That's where most of the positivity is coming from, it seems like, and so very, very excited for that.
Yeah, definitely. Steam's always been a little bit ruthless, but I wouldn't.
Steam can be a little ruthless. Yeah, we'll see how that one goes. I'm a little less happy with how that has gone so far, but it's early. There's plenty to do. So
yeah. Sweet. And we will introduce the rest of our panel, but before we do that, a reminder to everybody to help celebrate the launch of Song of Iron. Throughout the show tonight, we are going to be giving away 4 copies of the game for Xbox, and also, if anybody does want to play it on Steam, I will also give out a code on Steam or purchase as a gift to anybody on there as well, so enjoy it. 4 copies. Awesome stuff. Next up, first and foremost, Hertog Vin, how are you doing today, brother? What you been up to?
I'm doing really good. I can finally say I finished Skies of Arcadia on my stream. After 22 long sessions, I did it. It's the first game I streamed and finished. And then Psychonauts 2 came out, and I am enjoying that. It's crazy. So far, it's the game of the year for me. I really enjoy it. It's so well done. The graphics, the story, the voice acting, it's just so much fun. And then yesterday, my Xbox started downloading Song of Iron, so I started playing that this morning, and I love it so far. It's crazy how Joe did it, completely solo. The game is looking impressive. It's sound, the music, it's really, really good. It plays very nice. So I've been playing that. Yesterday, I've also played Halo with Erwin and Princess Salty, and Sea of Thieves last week with Barry, Erwin, and the rest. So
Yeah.
I have holiday now, so I'm enjoying it as much as I can, to game as much as I can.
Yeah, exactly. Before you're on night shift again.
No, I don't want to talk about it yet. I have one and a half week to go, and maybe Dutch coin goes to the moon, and I don't have to go anymore. So I want to be a millionaire and make a game as well, like Joe is doing.
Do it.
Go for it.
Time will tell, but I'm really good so far. So
Awesome stuff. And next up, Patcha, how are you doing today, brother? What you been up to?
Good evening, everybody. I'm doing pretty good. After the news that I had this morning from you, I was like all over the place. But yeah, it's pretty awesome to get this chance and to work together with Finn and Emil for now. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. So yeah, I'm doing good.
Awesome stuff.
What I've been up to, been playing Apex Legends again. Finn told me to download it a few weeks ago, but yeah, I'm pretty hooked on Apex Legends.
Much better than PUBG.
Yeah, at the moment, for now, yes. So,
rip PUBG.
Yes, rip PUBG, exactly. And I played yesterday, I think. Yeah, I think it was yesterday and the day before Psychonauts as well. And man, that game it's really good. It plays really good. It looks really good. It sounds good. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna continue that story as well. And soon I'll be also hopefully gonna play some Song of Iron because I watched Finn's stream this morning and yeah, I'm impressed as well. So again, Joe, congrats with your game, and I cannot wait to try it out, man. So
thank you very much.
Maybe you win a copy pad this show.
There you go.
who knows?
Love it.
Awesome stuff. Next up, Shomberlon. Welcome back, brother. Of course, we've all been on a kind of a week's hiatus as well. So welcome back. What you been up to in the last week or so?
University.
Yeah.
That is pretty much my life at the moment. It's hard, I tell you. It's draining. I've got an undergrad, I have a master's, and I'm doing this, and this is by far the hardest in terms of just mentally draining. But it should start getting a little bit lighter now. And I haven't even really gamed that much, just because whenever I'm not at university or online university, should I say, at the moment, I have to read or I'm just knackered. That first week when I wanted to be here for the dealer show, but that first week I was in bed by about 8:30, 9 o'clock each day. I was absolutely knackered. But what I have been playing, I tried to get into Psychonauts, but it's not taking with me at the moment. But I think that's because I'm not there mentally to
dig into something like that.
Yeah. So I've just been playing a lot of Cursed, just because they're quick 10-15 minute games that I can pick up, put down whenever. So yeah, I've been mainly doing that. I was quite happy that I got the very rare achievement of 3 wins in a row, which is annoyingly hard. The amount of times I've got 2 wins and then get down to the last 2 or 3 and die is frustrating. But I actually went 4 wins in a row in the end.
Really?
It's just luck. It just depends on. There's a heavy pay to win structure to it, and if you're up against somebody like that, you don't really have a chance. But if you're up against normal people who haven't paid to win, basically you have a good chance. But yeah, that's basically me. I've not been doing much. I've had my brain dripping out my nose and my ear simultaneously. So that's about it.
Hopefully you get a break soon. You never know.
Yeah, Christmas I think is when my holiday is.
Oof. Well,
almost.
Few months.
Almost.
Yeah. Well, hope you get a little bit of a break in between anyway. Next up, Boxenberger. How are you doing today, brother? I know you've just returned from holiday and you're eager to get going. So, at the end, did you have a nice holiday? What you been up to otherwise?
Thank you. I had a wonderful holiday. The summer here in Germany was basically rain. And yeah, when we hadn't rain, we had more rain. And then we went to Italy. We had 35 degrees plus. So it was awesome there. And yeah, but I'm glad to be back. Missed you guys over the last 2-3 weeks. Yeah, glad to be back. And when I came back, I had the awesome chance to directly play Song of Iron. Even though my Xbox broke down, I came home from vacation and my Series X was busted. I had to send it in, but Joe was kind enough to send me over a Steam code then, and so I was able to play that fantastic game. I'm going to do another playthrough on the Xbox once I have the console back. I really loved it. Yeah, and then I started with Psychonauts too. Yeah, fantastic game. It really deserves all the praise it gets. It's great. Yeah, but that's basically what I've been up to. I made 2 videos since I came back, and now I'm on the podcast. So yeah, busy few last days. So
awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Right, first of all, we'll get into it. Joe, again, a massive congratulations on this awesome launch of the game. It has been a long road. It kind of feels like yesterday when we first got you on the show to talk about the development of the game after I did Xbox.
That was ages ago.
It feels like it was so long ago. It was a year ago.
A year already, yeah?
1 year, yeah. Whole year.
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy. But things have really took off since, and it's been really great to see the kind of development of the game over the course of it as well. Seeing from stride to stride, and from seeing it was really good. The one thing I loved kind of seeing throughout it as well, and especially just before launch and even on launch, you did the where it started and where it's going.
Yeah.
I always love seeing that guy.
Always got to go back to
floppy arms.
The drunk floppy Viking. Yeah. Oh man. That was it's crazy to look back at that stuff. The game has come so far, and my understanding of how to build those systems has come so far, and I'm really happy to have it out now. And obviously there's a long road, classic follow-up post-launch, fixing a few things, but that's all I can think about now that hey, this is done, here's a bunch more stuff to think about. There you go.
Yep.
No relaxing just yet, but yeah, it feels really good to be this far, and the response online has been really great so far. And I really appreciate the comments and stuff because it perks me up for sure.
Oh, I would imagine so. But it's well deserved as well. It's really well deserved. One of the things I've actually been thinking about as well, that I don't think I've ever asked you, is obviously being working with 343 for all those years and working on character animation specifically, we never really touched on the fact that you never had actually really been into the animation side of things using the Unreal Engine versus Halo's specific slipspace engine, which they used, or at least a version of it, the previous version, and then the newer version before you left back in December. But what is it? I mean, how difficult was it to get used to the animating characters using completely different systems? Because I know Halo was built specifically for Halo.
For Halo, yeah. So the animation itself is basically the exact same, because that's all done in Maya, and I use Maya for Song of Iron also. I had to make the rigs and stuff myself, but the system is in some ways easier because Unreal's meant to be very like right up front easy. Yeah. But I had to make the system that ran all the animations and managed which ones to play when and all that stuff. And that's not necessarily something I had done in the past. So that was difficult for sure. And then trying to make something that was clean and worked well and stuff, definitely struggled. But the game is so much simpler than Halo that it's hard to judge necessarily. But I definitely didn't have anyone to go, hey, can you help me make this a few times with stuff, but it's hard to say. I mean, it's just nice to the professional rigs and character models from Halo is a very nice thing to work on for sure.
I bet.
But weren't you allowed then to use the Halo engine for the game? Would it make it easier for you then?
No, probably not, because I would have had to do more intense coding and stuff, which I'm not very good at. And Unreal has the visual coding system, which let me make the game at all pretty much. I would have been better at some things because I would have just known them, but my ability to do everything wouldn't have been as easy.
Okay.
Where do you see?
That's part of a custom engine.
Yeah, yeah. Where do you see then going forward? Do you envisage yourself learning a little bit more on the coding side to then improve on certain aspects?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the place that I'm going to have to continue to improve on. And I've already come super far, and hopefully, there's so many things. It's like I'm so far down a road that I kind of can't go back without rebuilding a bunch of stuff. And it works, but it's like this will give me a limitation that I don't want. And so, slowly, now that I've learned all the stuff, converting things over, now that it's post-release and it's safer to do bigger things, working on some of that stuff, but. Yeah, I'm like just imagining like starting little bits all over just sounds so awesome because I can do them like with all this information I've got now, and so yeah. But coding is going to be the thing that always is going to need the most work, I think, for me.
Nice. I've seen there even Epic noticed that the great work that you did with the Unreal Engine. How did that came to be?
Yeah, I got awarded a mega grant, which is amazing. Yeah. I mean, Epic is so great, just with creators for doing that at all. I think it's a great program. Obviously, it helps the little people like myself who have nothing else. It's just like our own, pocket money and stuff. But it was awesome. So you can apply for that, and I applied twice and pretty much waited a full year. I thought I hadn't gotten it, and then. Like a month and a half before release, there's like, hey, here you go. So yeah, it was just sort of a nice surprise. Yeah, especially since it had been so long. But I had talked to someone there, and they said that team's really small, so they were pretty slow to get through what is, I'm sure, endless applications being sent in and stuff. So just very grateful for that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
When are we getting the WandrinDutch character skin DLC?
That's a good question.
It is WandrinDutch, right?
Yeah, it might be. He just got some more hair.
Yeah.
I'll have to do a shaved head version.
He already has a statue in the game, so come on.
Right.
With the shaven head.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he is in the game. He's a statue in the back.
Just a statue at the back, yeah.
Oh, you are in the end credits, right? So.
Yeah, and the credits.
Yeah, dear me. Yeah, but that's been absolutely awesome to see as well, and obviously an honor to help work on it in the background and do beta testing and things like that, and provide the feedback. And obviously there was a whole host of people that wanted to help you and provide feedback, and that was awesome to see. Of course, a really great community that's kind of provided you with that. Yeah,
so grateful for that.
With regards because I'm not going to go into spoilers. I still refuse to go into spoilers for the game. But we know, of course, that the game and the story itself was inspired by an old Dungeons and Dragons game that you yourself created, a story that you come up with when you were younger. Is it pen and paper, Knights of Pen and Paper, or something like that? An old Dungeons and Dragons kind of story.
It was just a Dungeons and Dragons game. I mean, from about the time I'd started, I was running a campaign here with my friends, and I usually DM, but at that time, I got one of my buddies to do it since I wanted to play. And,
like a real life Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Just I mean, you can't quite see it, but there's a table right here leaning against the wall from when it was set up in my room, and I've got the great background for it, the backdrop, so it's a perfect room. But yeah, I played, and I just played this barbarian guy, and the story that me and the DM kind of came up with for my character turned into Song of Iron pretty much. It was a great, very simple thing, and it like all the way from the beginning to the end is all part of the journey of that D&D game, and avoiding the spoilers. It's a wild ride, and it's really cool. So
yes, it was definitely a wild ride. So no spoilers, obviously here. But I remember, when I played through the game, I was often reminded of that feeling of Inside. Inside is probably for me the game that I would compare it to the most, even though obviously your game is way more action packed than Inside, and I say that in the best way possible. I think Inside is one of the best, if not the best indie game of the last generation. So I mean that as nothing but a compliment, because it was really well done. And then the ending came up, and I really encourage everyone to play to the end, because I was the only guy I was allowed to talk about the game was with Dutch here. Yeah, and he finished before me, and so I was always I texted him. I'm like here. How long do I need to plan in? Because I had to do also the video, and then I asked him how long. You haven't seen the ending yet, because you know when the ending is near. You know when the ending is near. And it was really crazy to see. Without spoiling anything, how did you come up with the idea to do such a
thing? Yeah,
such an incredible churn of events, let's call it that way.
It's always been part of it. So it's never, It wasn't like how do I put a thing in just to do it? Like, that was built in from the very beginning, and that's built into what the hopeful trilogy would be part of, and so it's all this big consuming concept that's happening. But this game doesn't get to see it till the end for the most part. So on the second playthrough, because you said you're going to play again, keep an eye out, because you'll see way more hints. You'll catch way more of it as you go.
All right. I will definitely keep an eye out. I will do the replay on the Xbox to get the achievements as well. And I can't wait to see them. It was really a fun surprise. And really cool ending. Awesome. Highly recommend to everyone to play through that.
Awesome.
It was to say that I did not expect that, to be honest. I think I was messaging you at the time, Joe, and I was just giddy. It was one of those things where I was just like, I just did not expect this at all, but it kind of smiling, like really smiling.
That's awesome.
It was such a surprise, and obviously the difficulty slightly ramps up in that section as well. But even before that, I've been watching quite a few, as Archimedes has been saying, as you've said as well. After you've completed it the first time round, it then kind of there's more things you'll start to notice in areas. But I was watching somebody stream, and then they dropped down off this ledge and then just walked back into blackness, and it was a cave. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was there.
I tried to hide little extra things here and there. Nothing too crazy, but usually
you can put fire. You can put fire on your sword.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
There you see it.
It's them the totems as well. Now, I didn't realize the kind of the importance of them particular totems as well. Like, after you get to a certain point, them light up totems. You don't quite realize the importance until when you finish the game, then you quite understand.
Yeah,
right. This is why I need to find these. Right. Makes sense. That was also really good. It was like a little, like you say, it's a little bit more replayability to the game because I know you wanted to create a story that was nice and short and can be played in one day, and it can be.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I played it 1.5 times in one day, and then finished it off again the next.
That's awesome.
Which is really cool, but it's just one of them games that's really easy to just jump back into, and you, because you pick more things up and you get used to the combat, and then you start trying more flying kicks and throwing your weapon and flinging it back and then doing the ball.
Yeah.
Experimenting.
Yeah, it definitely takes a little bit of getting used to, but I think once you spend some time with it, that you can start really pulling some fun stuff off, and it's good.
Most definitely.
I'm really glad everybody so far has played it, really enjoying it.
Drew even has a shirt. Drew even has a shirt from it.
Well,
look.
yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
What are your, after you've seen all the impressions and thoughts and feedback so far, what are you looking to try and then implement? Obviously, you've mentioned before you see this as part of a trilogy. Of course, that feeds on from the D&D campaign that you come up with. But after the thoughts and seeing the impressions of people so far, and I don't know how many people that have messaged you regarding the end section yet, or kind of talked about it to you.
Just a little bit here and there, yeah. But it's
how many? Like, what are your thoughts on how you're going to improve and continue on from this game as well going forward? Because I know you want more, and I know you're saying it's based on its success, etc. But I see it being a big enough success to warrant at least a second and third title.
Really, I really hope so. I mean, that's definitely the dream from my side of things. It's there's a mix of, I really just want to make what is there better, and I think there's tons of room for improvement. I think it's a great first shot. I think people generally are enjoying it, but there's plenty of, this little thing isn't working perfectly, or this is a little clunky, and those things I just want to improve and improve and improve. So you don't even think about it anymore. It's nice and fluid. And then I think there's a lot of room for the combat to improve in terms of adding a little bit more depth to it and a little bit more, I want to do like grabs and throws and a little bit more grapply kind of things. Bit more animation, definitely like improve the weapons, like the two-handed, the spear, just like a little bit more options in there.
Dragon riding.
Yeah, I know. Pong wants to ride the dragon. You never know. We'll see. So, but we'll see. It's kind of the simple stuff that I'm most interested in making better. And then once that stuff's, better than it is now, then I'll start working on adding stuff. But I think those things, the game is not meant to be crazy. It's meant to be grounded and simple. And so if I can manage to hold on to that, I'd be in a really good way. Obviously, part 2 is going to add some elements that'll be interesting. And so there'll be some changes there, but that's TBD until when I start working.
Until enough people have finished it.
Yeah.
To be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've seen some things on True Achievements, and I've noticed that 12 achievements are secrets. Is there a reason behind it? Because 2 are open.
Yeah, it's literally a checkbox, and it says like, should this be hidden? And I just thought like it'd be nicer to hide them and then let them be surprises instead of people wanting to see where the story goes and take. There's really not any hints. I was pretty safe with the names, but that was the thought when I did it, not knowing it would make an extra loud noise when it popped up, because it doesn't do that when I test it, but it does it in the live one. So surprise to everybody. So I'll probably change that in an update, because that achievement thing is super obnoxious. the like unlocking hidden achievement thing. I don't like that. So, but that's all. It was just paranoia of the story, honestly.
It's gonna take a few people some time to get that "don't get killed" achievement in the game.
Yeah,
that'll be a tough one. I think if you keep playing through, it gets easier and easier because you'll keep your stats.
Yeah.
But okay, so one more. I seen that reach the end without dying is one of the achievements. That's an open achievement. Mm-hmm. It's 100 game score. But I've also seen one that is a secret achievement, that's 200 game score. So that must be pretty hard, I think, to get it, or I don't know.
That one's not super hard. That one's basically for beating the game, for beating the story. Just trying to encourage people to make it all the way through, because it's worth making it all the way through. So I figured I'd dangle a big fat carrot at the end of the story. But nice. I think to your point, I definitely intend to unhide them. I think it wasn't super necessary. I didn't really name them in a way that made it necessary to do that, but
Oh, there we go. Back on again. There we go. That's a bit strange. Yeah, oh, actually, I think I know why. Because I pressed a key that I need to unassign from my keyboard now. I've got this Stream Deck. Hey! I've got this fancy Stream Deck now that I can press a button and audio comes on and off, and I've still got it assigned to this silly key on my keyboard. But never mind. Yes, Joe. The music. Now, this is something that we've spoke about, and we've spoke to Will Goss about as well, and the work behind that is absolutely magnificent. Now, one thing I didn't know how it would work throughout the whole game, but we spoke about it last time, was the fact that every audio track, or at least the music throughout the whole game, is only ever the main music. It's just reworked into something different, and you don't quite realize that unless you already know about that. And
it's definitely a subtle thing.
So good.
But yeah, we use, because the game's shorter, we really talked about, moving too all over the place with music could make it hard and harder to like just consume it all in a nice clean way. So Will did this awesome thing where pretty much every song uses the melody of the main track, and sometimes it's a little slower, or sometimes it's way hidden in the background, but it's always there. And it really just connects everything in this wonderful way. It lets the transitions be clean and nice and stuff. And he did an amazing job for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, it's the one thing I really liked as well is specifically it was certain points of the game, and I think that worked well with how you created it as well. So there's a certain section that stands out to me was when you're kind of climbing up this big rock face, and you eventually get to the top, and there's this big valley in the background, and the music's like, it's epic but calm and soothing at the same time. And that part stood out to me because it was kind of more it was just the emotion you kind of get behind both the gameplay and the music at the same time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for with that part. That's like right as you enter that old kingdom area, and me and Will just like really nailed the aesthetic, and I was just always pushing to be like more Viking and more simple often. Yeah. Because the composer always wants the orchestra, and I always wanted it to be the one-man band, kind of following the hero along, and kind of like the bard almost playing the hero's song as we go. And I constantly was joking with them, and I would be like really, there's like two guys, they're just off screen and they're playing this music, so they can't do much more than a couple instruments or whatever and a little vocal, and that just does so much to make it I don't want to say more tribal, but more grounded and more relatable in a way, and it matches the story I think a lot better than God of War, which has an amazing soundtrack, very orchestral, but God of War is way bigger on the epic scale in a way than Song of Iron is, so it matches. And I didn't want to try to replicate that. I wanted to do our own thing.
Awesome stuff. It was, to be honest, it didn't replicate anything.
That's awesome.
Which is really good, and I liked specifically wouldn't say the boss music, but in general the fight music, should we say, when you're getting into those really congested areas full of people and everything, and it gets really like epic and fast paced, and you're like, right, okay, I know in certain areas you think, right, am I just running here, or am I going to try and stay and fight? And I think in one section where the trolls start to chase you and they just come out the woodwork and kind of try and surround you, just like, nope, I'm going.
Run. Yep.
Not sticking around for this because they just never stop coming.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges I had. Was like trying to convey messages like that. That's the exact thing I want you to do. I want you to see all these guys running through the woods, and I want you to just run for it. The music is faster paced. They just never stop coming. All that sort of stuff, and I tried to make that work without being heavy-handed about it, because that stuff always pulls me out of games, but obviously you still want to get the message across. So that was definitely one of the challenges I sort of gave myself. And I think in some cases it worked, in some cases it didn't work as well, and definitely stuff to improve on. But yeah, glad it worked in that case for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Is there, other than your D&D campaign, and we know Inside, etc., is there any other kind of games you've had a chance to look at more recently on the ID front or the indie front that are kind of giving you some inspirations for what you might want to include in future titles?
I'm a really big fan of the Falconeer. I really like X01. There's all like it's hard to always.
Is it because you can fly a giant bird and you want to fly a dragon? And...
Yeah, right. There you go. Maybe. I think he flies some dragons in there now too. Yeah, he's added some dragons. Yeah, I mean, those games. There's not like a one-to-one like I want to take this one thing and definitely like implement it, but just seeing how like the out of the box stuff that they're finding, and that really inspires me to keep kind of going through the niche thing that I've got going on. I think X01 is just like a total. I just finally played the demo that has been out now forever, and it was just such a wonderful kind of methodic experience. And there's just I love games that allow you to just just exist in the world a little bit and not super worry about button mashing your way through to the end. And I like that in mine, and so those games inspire me to keep pushing in that direction, because I think that really works well when people give it the time. And yeah, I don't know. My backlist of games to play has grown immense, and so I'm excited to dive into many, many more awesome games that I know have come out, like Psychonauts and a bunch of Xbox or Idea Xbox games that I can't wait to play. So,
did you play any games lately, or was it only?
Have you had the chance?
Living up to
I mean, I honestly haven't. I will still go back to games that I've played a lot of, because it's just so easy to jump in for a half hour or something.
Yeah.
But that's like Rocket League, League of Legends, or Valheim. I'm still playing once in a while. The meditation of going through Valheim and chopping down trees and then putting them in a chest and just for like is literally one of the things I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. And it's just like, okay, I need to like not think about anything and just go and chop down some trees. But as goofy as it is, it's like lets you get out of your head for a bit, and But I definitely am planning on playing games now. I've got a list I've been excited to get to, and I definitely want to get to.
So your game is now out for a day, right?
Yeah.
And last time you were on the show, we asked you for what is your target, right? What is your dream? And you said 30,000 units. Did you make it already, or are you not allowed to see that at the moment?
I can't really say yet. Steam numbers are not as good as I'd like, but Xbox numbers I don't know yet. So I have to wait a little bit. The system's bizarre, and then I couldn't even say Xbox numbers. I think the best I can do is all together. Then it gets all fuzzy about legal stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not there yet. But it's a long road, and it's like building up to launch as an indie. I think the sales is the exact same. The dream, you hope it goes viral day one, but whether or not that happens, it's hard to say. I think the response from Xbox and fans has been really good, so I'm really hoping that turned way better than Steam did. And but here, this is the marathon part where I've got to fix the bugs, keep pushing it, get the patches out, spread that live action short that came out yesterday too, because that thing blew me away. Awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And just get more eyes on it.
So when do you know like the sales numbers? When do you hear them?
I'm not totally sure. I mean, Steam generally updates fairly quickly, but I want to give it a few days, and I want to get to the weekend, and hopefully I can get some of the major issues people have had from the reviews out, so that review can go from medium to positive.
Yeah.
But if you've played, everybody wants to give a review, please go and check it out. Happy to have reviews.
I played it on Xbox, but can I still review it on Steam then?
No, you'd have to play on Steam, I think.
Okay.
But you can do it on Xbox too. I think you can give it stars. I mean, that helps so much, because with the small amount of people who play, we're talking under 100 reviews right now on Steam, and having that number be higher and getting the positives, Steam just goes, oh, people like this, and they just instantly show it to twice as many people when you get over those hurdles. So it's monumentously important to get good reviews, and then also to try to fix the problems that people who have reviewed had, and then I can respond to them and say, like, here, I'm working on fixing it, or I fixed it, blah, blah, blah.
I will go to the Xbox store then.
Yeah,
I will review it.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. But yeah, I don't know when I'll find the Xbox numbers. I've been looking and I haven't gotten them yet, but hopefully soon, because I feel like those will be the ones that I'll be able to celebrate around a bit better. But it's a process, and I don't have $200 million to throw at marketing and stuff. So
the best way to do it is exactly the way you've been doing it, and throughout the entire development process. I mean, it's the way indie developers specifically kind of need to do it. I suppose going forward, and those that I think they need to take you as an example of how to kind of self-advertise your game. Sometimes you don't need to do too much in terms of social media. Once you've done the initial wave, then you start getting on podcasts and talking and doing articles and little previews and things like that. Then the community does it for you. It's like self-sufficient.
Yeah, that's always the hope, right? You want people to enjoy, I just want to be out here. I want to be part of this community. I love talking about it. I did a lot of my videos in the beginning were like teaching about the backside of games and what's, how all things work. And I'm excited to go back to that now that I think I'll have some breathing room. I really I want to now talk about the experience of launch and all this stuff. So there's all this information for other indies and just people who are interested about so this seemed like it was going to be great. And this is what happened. And then this looked bad. And this is why it went great. And there's a bunch of stuff that I'll be able to reflect on, coming up. So but yeah, it's just fun to be part of the group and all that stuff. So
nice. So since you already talked about it, that you, after fixing the bugs and playing some games yourself, you're eventually going to do a sequel. I don't know whether you can talk about that, but a lot of the discussion in the community is lately about the Unreal Engine 5 and what that can do on next-gen systems and stuff. So are you going to look into that, or do you want to continue with the Unreal Engine 4?
Oh, I definitely want to move to 5. Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's it looks so good. I mean, the improvements they're making and the additional features that Unreal 4 doesn't have that I think they're implementing in that. I think I definitely want to move over as soon as I can. I think there's definitely going to be a process somewhere in the middle where I'll work on this I'm not going to change even to the next version of Unreal 4. I think I'm going to sit right here, keep improving for the next 3, 4, 5 months, depending on what the pace of everything goes. Get onto a few more PC platforms like Good Old Games and Epic Store and all that. And hopefully in that process, cleaning a lot of stuff up. And then when Unreal 5 is sort of officially launched, it's still in a very they're saying that everything's going to be able to transfer as well as it has between versions before, like of Unreal 4, which happens.
Yeah.
And but that engine is the Lumen stuff and all of those things that they're working on. It's mind-boggling how good it looks. Yeah, Nanite. Yeah, I mean, incredible. Really, really cool.
Yeah, I downloaded it myself. Not a game developer, but
it's fine. It's such a fun playground, right?
It's a fun playground to play around with, and actually I can't get it out of my mind what else I could do with it. I just played around a little bit, tested out some lighting stuff, being a lighting engineer myself here.
So
perfect. Yeah. That's really cool, and like you said, it's really powerful. What I was so surprised is how many assets are actually in there now. It's a crazy new store with tons of textures and stuff you can use. Definitely something interesting.
Yeah, the Megascan. So they bought the Quixel guys or their team, and then they've basically just been giving away for free all of that stuff, and they're just traveling the world taking photogrammetry scans of everything that they can find.
Yeah,
it's a really incredible thing.
Absolutely. Good.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to Unreal 5. I've had to resist. I didn't even download the demo when it came out because I didn't want to get sucked into it or be like, I wish I had this system 2 weeks from launch.
Yeah, I bet you've been busy with other stuff than testing out the beta of a
new engine.
Yeah. I think I remember you saying that you would. I was going to say I think I remember you saying that you were dying to, but you just hadn't had the opportunity. Time-wise.
It's like it's like test driving a nice fast car, knowing that you can't do anything about it for now, and It's just a distraction. Got to stay in the go-kart for now. Not to say that Unreal 4 is a go-kart. Unreal 4 is amazing.
Yeah.
And they're the same engine. Unreal 5 they're just replacing a few of the major systems.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the projects are going to be able to move over. But
wait, are you looking forward to working with the new lighting system then within Unreal Engine?
Yeah. That's definitely, I think just the ray tracing in general, which I didn't do for Song. I really want to build the game better so that it can use ray tracing, can use, Lumen, which just in general is amazing, which is based on a ray tracing system, all that kind of stuff. I think Song of Iron begs for the lighting system to be good, and I think I did what I could, and the lower system struggles with the highest quality a little bit, but yeah, definitely looking forward to that lighting system. It's exactly what I want for Song.
Sweet. Well, Joe Pixel Slapper has already got a copy. He's already purchased. He's already on board, so that's awesome. So we will redraw that one.
Pick someone else.
That's fine. But I've also decided to extend that and make it 5 copies. So there's still a couple more. We'll get Shom.
Very nice of Pixel to.
Yeah,
very nice.
That's fine. The good thing is of course it's all in boxes as well, because I'm just going to purchase as and when we finish this and send it straight to them, so they'll have it crisp and clean and brand new in their inbox. So yes, what is it that you're most looking forward to doing, or at least playing, now that you've eventually top of your list? You've mentioned you've got a list of games that you really want to play and catch up on. So what games are you looking forward to playing the most now that you've had a chance to, at least will get a chance in the next few weeks to have a break?
Yeah, man. I really want to jump into Ascent. I know that was getting some mixed reviews, but generally positive, and that was one that I've been waiting on forever.
Definitely recommend it. It's a great game.
Really looking forward to getting into that. I want to play Psychonauts. I never really played the first one, but I've only ever heard the great things. It was always on that, I really should play this kind of thing in the back of my head, and I never got to it. But watching some people play this one, I just really want to get into it. So that's that one. And then what was the other thing that I've been dying to play? What just came out? Grime, which is just PC. It's another indie title. It's very similar to mine in a lot of ways, different in a lot of ways. I've been following them working on that forever, and I really want to, now that we're both released in the last couple weeks or so, I really want to jump in and see how, what they did. They did really good. I know they had a great launch, so really looking forward to that. And there's probably 1,000 more. I've been buying them. My Steam is full of uninstalled games right now. But yeah.
Are you looking forward to? Obviously, you worked for quite a while on Halo Infinite, all the way up until December gone. Having seen personally the reception that the multiplayer specifically got when they did the tech flight, and seeing just how unbelievably happy people were at how well that game plays, how good that game plays, how much fun it is. Does that also make you a little bit proud, knowing that you've worked on that particular franchise up until pretty much it's nearing its end?
I know, we're almost there, right? Yeah, I mean, it's a great feeling, and that's sort of going to be this fun celebration towards the end of the year of oh yeah, I did that too. That I'm really excited about, but. Yeah, that'll be super fun. Hopefully I'll be able to join in on some of the following multiplayer stuff or whatever that they've got coming out, because it'd be really fun to. I mean, it's been 8 months since I was there. I'm sure it's changed so much, and any overly unnecessary gamer knowledge I had of what was going on behind the scenes will be faded, so I can kind of enjoy it as a fan more now, and that'll keep happening the longer I'm away from it. It's the inevitable thing, right? You see behind the curtain, and magic is kind of sucked out of stuff a little bit, but hopefully I think some of that will be returning now that I've been away a bit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it was the other week. Chris Grannell, who's on our panel, obviously used to work for Sony, and one of the reasons he got out of development was because he kind of lost the love for actual games, because he was just spending all day making games.
Yeah,
I can imagine that's pretty much the same for yourself then, in one respect, because obviously, especially like you mentioned, Halo Infinite. There, you spent so long doing it, and you remember a lot of the things. So your excitement isn't as much as everybody else. It's more you're excited for other people to play, but not for you to play it.
Yeah, definitely that kind of thing. Yeah, it's like the way you appreciate them changes, right? I mean, in the same way that you guys probably watch podcasts or streams, and you kind of understand what's going on, and so you can appreciate it in a different way. When someone's doing something really well that you can understand, it's really impressive, but you're just sort of experiencing it in a different way, and that can mean that it's less exciting. Moment to moment, but it's still very interesting because you can learn from it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, but generally games, I'm pretty good at separating from games that I don't know and just enjoying them. I think Valheim's a great example where
Yeah. Sweet. Oh, I can imagine. Have you had a chance then outside when you've been kind of developing things? Have you had a chance to? Are you doing? Is that how you're doing your choosing your winner? You're just landing on a name. Yeah, go for it. I'll type it up whilst you're saying it. Christine Kitty, you've also won a copy of the game. Inbox myself, and I'll get that sent over to you right now. Let me know in the inbox whether or not you want that on Steam or on Xbox. Also include your gamer tag if you can, please, and I'll add you straight after this. Sounds there. Christine! You have won a copy.
Christine Kitty.
Dear me. Yes, Christine Kitty, you have won a copy of Song of Iron. All you have to do is inbox me. And again, let me know if you want that on Steam or Xbox. Either way, give me the username for either or, so your gamer tag or your Steam name. And I'll add you on that, and I will get a copy to you straight after the show. But drop me an inbox. Awesome stuff. We also have another one chosen by Archie. Archie has chosen HTK 360. So congratulations, HTK 360. You are also another winner of Song of Iron. Again, drop me an inbox. And again, let me know whether or not you want that on Steam or an Xbox. Give me a gamer tag if I don't already have you online. I think I have HTK on Xbox, actually. Drop me an inbox and I'll get that sent straight over to you. Another one chosen by Joe. Again.
Try again.
Yeah. Good Vibes Gamer. Again, drop me an inbox, brother. We will get.
Gamer.
Yes, we will get that code sent over to yourself. Of course, let me know if you want it on Steam or on Xbox, and we'll get that hooked up. And I'm going to do one more. We'll leave that. We'll leave that another 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so. We'll give out one more copy. But yeah, I'm on a roll here. I want everybody to have fun. But yeah, one more chance. We'll get Shom to choose this final one.
Ooh,
so
Shomberlon.
Shom in the background over the next 10 minutes. Have a look through chat and pick that final deserving winner. Awesome stuff. Brilliant. Yeah, Joe. So yes, you've probably had a chance over the last few months at least to speak to a lot of indie developers in the background anyway, when you've been building yours, potentially just for hints or tips or helping them or so on and so forth. What would you give any aspiring indie devs or kind of people aspiring to get into indie development? What tips would you give them, or what advice would you give them?
It's such a tough one. It's such a bizarre sort of pattern out there. I think that the best advice is to actually just start working on something and start showing people what you're working on. I think, you need to get that instant feedback, find out something that sticks with people, that kind of shows up and piques people's interest, and then you start to know a good path to go down. Demos, I think, are really important.
Mute Pat. Mute.
Uzo.
There we go. I've muted him. Sorry, Joe. Continue.
No, it's all good. Demos are really important, both to get your name out there and stuff, but also to get people playing it and experiencing it once there is a bit of a game, and then getting that feedback. It's really about, I mean, it's so important to know if people are liking what it is as far ahead as you can, and go for it. And honestly, just like have fun with it, because it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, to make something you're not enjoying to make.
Yeah.
And that's definitely, if you're fine doing that, then you might as well go work at a studio. Not to say that that's how you always feel at a studio, but remove some of the stress and just have the comfortable job. But if you want to really work on something you're passionate about, the indie way, I think, is a very potent but exciting way to do it.
Yeah, most definitely. Another thing I'd be keen to know from yourself then is what, especially on the indie development side of things, what engine would you recommend a first-time developer to use? Of course, I know with yourself you've worked on now a couple of engines, but what would you recommend kind of a first-time indie dev to use as a gateway into developing games?
Yeah, for myself, I mean, Unreal was a no-brainer. It does the most sort of user-friendly stuff that like kind of for all parts of a game. They really, really do a good job of just introducing you into all these systems. I know Unity is also very good for indie developers. One of the favorites for them. It has a little less features as far as like if you're not an engineer, it's a little bit harder to work with. I think there are plugins that kind of bring it up to a similar level to Unreal, if not the same. But between those two, those are the ones I recommend just because I know them the best and I know the reputation the best. There are a few others that probably just work fantastically, but those are the ones definitely to start with, I think. And there's nothing wrong with just messing around in all of them and finding something that kind of sticks with you, because part of the learning process is, like with anything, is finding a tool that works well for you. You know, if you're a painter, there's 1,000 different brush types or things to use, and you really want to find something that you're comfortable with. So definitely the path.
Sweet. Awesome stuff. One we will get into now, a little bit more of the more frequent news, and I don't know whether or not you've had a chance to play these old titles, but no doubt you probably have done in the past, Joe. But that is now it was obviously announced about a month or so ago, the reboot and remake of Dead Space. Now, having had a chance to see how they've worked on it, and of course now more and more developers are doing these open to the public developer diaries where they show you things as they're being created. And they decided to do that, of course, with Dead Space yesterday. Having seen the direction they're going in and how much they're kind of doing to the game and doing it over, is that something that you're also really excited to see? And have you played the original trilogy?
I played the first one and I loved it. I played part of the second one and right away it was already drifting away a bit from what I liked about the first, I think, and then the third one even more so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like unfortunate, but I love the first one. So I definitely will jump into the first one of this remake at the very least. I think I still remember some of the sort of horror moments of it and really, really enjoying them. And I don't play too many horror games, which really this is what it is, but yeah. I do love a good sci-fi horror, and so Aliens or Dead Space really kind of right up there with that stuff. And I think we need some Isaac in our lives, some more Isaac in our lives. That's his name, right? I remember that, right? Yeah, good. Yeah, we need.
Isaac,
we need more of that. I think it's awesome. I know horror games don't always do super good, high budget, but hopefully, it's awesome that they're giving it a shot. So hopefully, it does well. It'll be really great.
Oh, definitely. Sean, what have you made of the kind of showing of Dead Space so far then, since they showed off how they're working on it, etc., and what it looks like so far?
I didn't actually watch the dev thing yet, because I've been busy, but I've seen like the screenshot shown, and there's that. Well, it was a GIF rather than a screenshot, but that bit where he's just walking down a corridor and it's got the side by side, and it looks quite plain on the 360 version, but then on the next gen version, you've kind of got all the fog or the mist that you always see in horror films, kind of on the ground as he's walking. It's quite like nice, but kind of creepy ambient light. So I'm really looking forward to the game. It's a game that I think I've played through like 3 times, maybe 4. I completely maxed it out gamer score wise. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I kind of like I said before, I kind of wish that it was a reboot, like so you could have had the same character, same kind of setting, but a different game. But I kind of understand why, and as long as it kind of spawns a positive introduction. Yeah. I mean, I've heard somebody else talking about. I'd quote them if I can remember who said it, but they were basically saying that it's good because Dead Space itself didn't really sell that well originally.
Yeah.
So it can get more eyes on now and do well. Then hopefully they decide not to go with a Dead Space 2, but then go in their own direction, rather than just then redoing a Dead Space 2.
Yes, yeah, completely agree. I mean, I'd love for them to kind of to expand on the universe as well. It was a really great one, but I think everybody has kind of unanimously agreed, Joe included, the final Dead Space and even kind of latter parts of Dead Space 2 really started to wane off from what made Dead Space great in the first place. And that was one of the kind of key problems for the franchise. I think after Dead Space 1 and parts of Dead Space 2, they do need to go back to the franchise, but also, like you mentioned, spawn something new out of it. Expand on the story and make it great again, because it was one of the kind of true great horrors of the last generation, and it deserves kind of, should we say, better looked after, much like the Resident Evil have over the years. It's kind of it's spawned and turned into something else, but it still remained great in essence.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the first games I ever tried 3D surround sound. I think it was like 5.1 or 7.1 when I first got a pair of Turtle Beach.
Yeah.
And it's creepy as hell. It really is. Even now, it's just the ambient sounds and the noises. Even though I go through an area where I know that I'm safe because it's relatively.
Oh god, yeah. Are they not potentially going to implement Atmos into this new game then?
Diary. They said they want to use even some sort of the ray tracing capabilities for sound effects in that game.
Yeah.
Audio's off, guys.
No, it's back on. To be fair, thankfully, I turned the audio off I just after I'd finished speaking and just before Archie started speaking again. So I managed to do that. I really need to I know exactly what's causing the issue, and it's my fault. But I'll sort it after the show. That's an easy fix as well. It's registered to a key on my keyboard, and I keep forgetting it's registered to that bloody key. So I'm gonna fix it. Dear me. But yes, in terms of ray traced audio as well, that's definitely a big one, and I think ray traced audio as well as just the lighting effects is massive, and I think one of the key ones I think are using ray traced audio upcoming very recently is Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
And that sounds really impressive compared to the previous one. I mean, you really notice the difference compared to the previous Forza Horizon title. So having ray traced audio in a horror game would be terrifying, but in a great way. What did you think of it anyway, as in a grand scheme of things from what you've seen so far, Archie? What did you make of what you've seen of the Dead Space reboot?
I really liked what I've seen. You know my stance on all these remasters and remakes. I'm usually not the biggest fan. I always say devs should rather do something new. We have such a great backward compatibility program now on consoles. That's usually necessary to do that. And PC, well, it's the best back compat machine anyway, so there's always a chance to go back and play these games. so if you and we've seen over the last years a lot of games that were kind of just money grabs. These remasters were lackluster, and there wasn't really anything properly remastered. And so that was actually my concern. Coming from EA, we have always certain things to consider, but it really looks that they actually put in the work, that they do a proper remake, not a remaster, a proper remake, on all kinds of things, starting from texture work, the lighting, the sound, basically everything, while still maintaining what made the game.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Vin, is Dead Space a game that you've ever played before? Yep. Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Pat, is Dead Space a game you've ever played, or is what you've seen of it so far something that interests you? Oh, you have. Wait.
I
There we go.
I think I played it. What was it? Last month,
Yeah.
if I'm correct. But I don't know. It's not the type of game I would play. But I couldn't get into the game, and like also Vincent, like Vincent says, the backlog of me, it's insane. I have so many games to play, and to focus on another game as well. Like sometimes I'm staring at my library for 10 minutes. What should I play? I don't know. Go to Gamepass. What should I download? I don't know. Like it's crazy. So, but if I have time for it, I'll definitely gonna take a look as well. So, but for now, it's no, not for me.
Not for you. No, that's perfectly fine.
Nah.
That's perfectly fine. We have, the vast majority of us, though, have had a chance. I know Joe hasn't as yet, but no doubt it will be on his list. But have had a chance as well to play Psychonauts 2. And it is universally appraised, and rightly so. I want to get kind of some impressions of the crew on the game so far. But Joe, from what you've seen of the game so far, and no doubt you've seen social media absolutely ablaze with people playing that game and talking about it, etc. Is that one that you're really excited to get into and kind of
I really am. I mean, I think I watched a few hallway sequences where it was all crazy and spun around, and then a few of the sort of not even portals, but just bizarre worlds where you walk around and you see one thing and you walk back around and it's a whole different world.
Yeah.
And that stuff is so cool. I mean, that's technology and gaming at its best, because that's a true non-realistic thing that we can do in the game space, and it's so cool. It's sort of in a way for the Xbox group, it's like the Ratchet and Clank of this sort of 6 months, with even like those sort of things. It's the same technology in a lot of ways, and so it's just, I want to see more wacky stuff like that, and things that can't work in real life. I mean, we can do those in games, and so we need to do more of that. And Tim Schafer's the one to do it. That's for sure.
You will get wacky stuff, Joe.
Good.
Really.
I'm very excited.
I love wacky stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the wacky stuff.
Extremely wacky, extremely wacky. It's I'm up to a sequence at the moment. You've probably seen it all, but it's the extremely loud and multicolored section of the game where you're inside the mind of an old kind of musician / rock band guy. Like
Oh, yeah.
really trippy hipster, and
Yeah.
that just gets weird. But it's such a cool level in what you've got to do, and I like how every level's kind of changing its mechanics and what you need to do to traverse the level and what you need to unlock, etc. So far, it's really, really good. It's quite a hard game to put down when you start playing it as well, because
Yeah.
you're just like, just one more bit. Just I
Yeah.
only need to do this just a little bit more. Just get to this end of this section here.
Yeah, I want to see what the next level brings up,
Yeah.
because, like you said, there's always something different
Yeah.
in each level. Yeah.
It is.
But they did it so good, right? You know, each level, you know, and then the one Drew is talking about now is my favorite so far with the crowd. You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. That level is pure craziness, and I love it so much. Even the music, you know, the music fits so well, you know, and how far do you get in that level? The more instruments get into the music, right?
Yeah.
And it's so well done with the voice acting and stuff. Man, I can't put the game down. It's crazy. It's at this moment it's the best game of 2021 for me. So, and I didn't expect that because I only downloaded it because it was in Game Pass, you know. And people said try it. But
Yeah.
it's really, really good. Really good.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Archie, what are your thoughts on it overall so far? Then, have you got up to that crazy level with the musicians yet?
No, not yet. I'm in the bowling level.
Oh, right. You're not too far off then.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's fantastic. I played the original game back in the days, but that's like what now, 15 years or something. So I remember having fun with the game back in the time. So yeah, I was looking forward to it, but I didn't expect this kind of level of quality. The game is just really well done. There's zero bugs, glitches. It's really perfectly done. Everything matches up so well. The sound, the voice acting, the characters, all fantastically realized. But the best thing really is that there is really no repetitive stuff in the game.
Oh no!
Every level brings something new to the table, something you really didn't expect. Crazy little mini games or whatever. It's really so surprisingly well done. Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of quality level coming from Double Fine. Don't get me wrong, I really liked their previous game, Brutal Legends. Awesome game. I mean, crazy like hell with when it suddenly turns into real-time strategy game. But I always considered Double Fine as on the level of a double A studio. A very good double A studio, but a double A studio. But Psychonauts 2 can easily compete with any triple A game in terms of quality, in terms of technical achievements, in terms of gameplay mechanics, in terms of story. It's all there. It's
a sheer volume of content in the game as well. Like you mentioned, the mini games. Like I did some crazy cooking mini game yesterday, where you've got to gather you've got to gather the ingredients, but the ingredients are sort of like all over this obstacle course that you need to kind of get through at the same time.
Yeah. I played that yesterday too.
Yeah,
what a fantastic level!
Live up to their expectations.
Pick me! I want to be chopped.
So
pick me.
wild. It's such a wild level.
Yeah.
But
the voice acting is brilliant, man.
Yes, it is.
It's not like, you know, somebody just talking into a mic. It's the people that did all the characters did it with so much passion, and you can hear that, and I love it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
also how they depict Raz, the main character.
Yeah.
He's such a lovable, nice guy. Fantastic.
Have you seen how they actually? Because I watched like a mini documentary of one of the support characters who's actually he's a content creator, but he's like a mega fan of the game. But they invited him to audition for a part in Psychonauts, like a side part. And he got it. And his character's actually, you'll know from near the beginning of the game. Do you know the two skeletons that want a baby? They'll want you to win you a baby.
Yeah. The gazillion. The gazillion dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You win a baby. But yeah, so that's actually him and his partner. Tim Schafer asked him and his partner to audition for those parts, and they got it, and that's their voice in
Wow.
it. So I
That's
really,
awesome.
really love it. But Vin, you also have got up to the part now as well. Did you notice that the voice of that particular light is Jack Black?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you tell it was Jack Black?
Well, I noticed it at some point that he sounded like the what Archie said. You know, the game from Brutal Legend.
Yeah.
He has
that's
this voice changing, and he does it here as well. And then that was the moment I was like, yeah, oh, this is Jack Black.
It's so strange because it's like I'm used to seeing Jack Black in like more of a. Don't get us wrong, this is like a trippy / comedy-ish game, but it's also got lots of serious notes underlying in it as well. But the role that Jack Black plays in this one is far more like it's more somber and serious at first and things, and it's really good to see Jack play something like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to seeing him in loads of like heavily comedy, silly related things, and he plays a serious part really well on that.
Yeah, but you can recognize it at the moment, you know, when he does his voice changing, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, this is Jack Black. That's the moment. Before I didn't even notice. I was like, at the concert thing, you know, I was like, it has to be the big Viking guy, you know, it has to be him, but it's not. It's not.
Oh, me. Pat, have you had a chance to play the game as well yet?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, I
what
played
are your
it.
thoughts on it?
It's amazing. The way it looks, the way it plays, the sounds, the comedy in the game as well, the funny comments that they gave, that the characters give. So yeah, I really want to play this game. I want to finish it as well. So I'm still at the beginning. I'm not that far.
Yeah.
So I think I'm at the casino, if I'm correct.
Oh yeah.
I'm at the casino. Yeah. So I'm not that far in the game. So
That's
yeah,
where
I'm
the baby
looking
is.
forward to it. Huh?
That's where the baby is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
but-
win a baby.
Yeah, that baby
okay.
sequence.
Okay. Well, who
One
knows?
in a gazillion.
But yeah, man, and you know, like you guys are saying, it's getting more difficult. And there was one part that you need to get into the mind of your teacher in the beginning,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and you need to connect like the stress with the money thing. I don't know. And I
Yeah.
was so confused. I was like, what the heck do I need to do? I was jumping around the whole area, and I was like, damn, what? It took me like maybe 10 minutes or something to figure it out. So, but you know, it's
at
a
that
challenge,
point,
and I like it.
at that point I was raging, you know, because there's this wall between the two words,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like, how the hell am I gonna connect those two, right? And I was
Yeah.
raging on my LB button to transfer between the clouds, you know, and, and while raging, I got around the level and had it. That was a good
so
thing.
it's a really funny game to play, and
Yeah.
like I said, I cannot wait to see more. And like Joe also said, the transition between the worlds and that kind of things. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
wait till
looking forward to
you
it.
meet your family, Pat. Wait till you meet your family. That's that
All
part's crazy.
All right.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. There's so much
Yeah.
in the game, and like I say, the content is vast. Like there's so much variance. The world really opens up after a certain bit as well, and then you get this open world hub that you can go and explore, and loads of new characters, and of course the upgrade system to upgrade all of your kit and add badges and pins and things. Like the game, it's honestly really, really good. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did as well, but that was after playing like Ratchet and Clanks and things on PlayStation for a while. You don't realize how much Xbox needed a game like this on their platform, and it truly does deliver exactly what I wanted from a game like that, like a nice action adventure. I would say family friendly-ish game to a point. But I
Yeah,
think
that's awesome.
There's one thing that's also funny is then when you go into people's minds, you can see through their eyes, and every character has the different kind of things. You see, at one person, you see bacon flying in the air, and it's man, it's so crazy. Like
You have
the
to
things
remember
that
that
they.
part.
Okay,
Just a small tip. You have to remember that.
all right. So yeah, it's really fun game to play for sure.
Which level are you, Dutch, at the moment? Character level.
23 or 24 or something.
Oh, I'm a bit further than you then.
Yeah, Joe. Actually, I had another question regarding your game. What was the thoughts behind? And this is one of the things that I mentioned in my review as well, but not naming the character or anything. What was the driving force behind that?
But I think in the same way that the main character doesn't talk, you just get the little like ... like it's a very Zelda-y kind of moment. I liked the idea of having no name, and it let it be open to be whoever was playing. I think it's sort of that faceless hero concept where you can kind of put yourself into their shoes a bit more if you never hear them be something that feels weird to you to be playing as. So that kind of ended up being the path, and I did whatever I could to not have them speak or ever be named. It definitely made for some awkwardness, but it would have been nice. I had a nickname for a while, like Blackbeard or something, like for example, but even that kind of felt a little weird, so I ended up just trying to strip it all out. And it maybe feels a little impersonal in a certain way, but then you can just kind of be that person as much as possible and put yourself into their shoes. So
yeah, that's how I interpreted it anyway, as if it was intentional, so that it was more focused on you are that particular character as opposed to you're playing as this person.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Is it, going forward, I know you had a little bit of voice acting in this one. Is voice acting something that you want to implement more in the next?
Yeah, I think that's something that I would definitely want to do. I think I would work really hard to get that for the next one. Even if it's sort of in like Icelandic or something the whole time, just something that feels in the vibe. I think it would be good regardless to have it on top of the dialogue bits. But best case scenario is I can get some actual voice acting, and I think it would sell those moments, as few as they are, a little bit better, and be able to just really wrap it in a nice package that the old school text does, but also doesn't do as well for sure compared to a well acted voiceover.
Yeah.
So, and that's to the question earlier about what I want to improve. That's definitely on that list. It's just everything that's there, I think, has got a really good foundation, and now it's just everything can be improved 100 times over. So,
yeah. Well, the story's very much there as well. You had a really solid story and dialogue as well all the way through, which was good. So when you did have the dialogue sections, it was really good. But thankfully, like you say, not only did the dialogue do a good job, but the traversal in itself and the world and the way you play through it from start to finish tells the story.
Awesome.
So you understand that particular journey, and then those few moments where you do speak to characters, then of course it opens it up a little bit more.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Shom, have you had a chance also to? I don't know whether you've had a chance to jump into Song of Iron yet or not, but have you also had a chance to jump into Psychonauts? And what are your thoughts on both?
I've not had a chance to jump into Song of Iron yet because I don't own it just yet. That will be rectified soon. Don't worry, Joe. Don't worry. And the last winner of the competition is
it's all good.
There we
go. I think we have to kick him off the show now.
No.
No, it's something I'll be picking up early September, as it's my birthday next week as well.
Hey, perfect.
So, hint, hint. No. It's just I've not really thought. Like I said just at the beginning, I've not had really much thoughts on gaming the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I get it.
Hopefully things will start to calm down. I had a brief go at Psychonauts. I've got as far as getting into the main building, so I'm like an apprentice or whatever now, and I'm just having a little mooch around there. I'm literally level 3 or 4 character-wise.
Yep. Okay.
And then wasn't that I just wasn't feeling it. It's just I knew I didn't have much time to put into it, and I'd rather put huge chunks into it rather than half an hour sessions kind of things. I want to at least like have a 2.5 hour session minimum to actually get into it rather than pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. So
yeah, it makes sense.
I'm going to wait until I've just got
so much
a bit more time.
Much like Joe with his inability to pick up a game for long periods at the moment due to work. We're both in the same boat.
I mean,
after this show, Joe is rich. You know, the game sells 2 million copies, and
oh my god,
and he can enjoy Psychonauts 2 as well.
That's the dream, Joe. That's the dream.
I think once my first assessment's in, I can start relaxing, and I'll have a bit of time between going out on placement in schools. So I might have a week or 2 then that I can actually properly get into a game.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. I think actually it's probably a good area to end the show now. We've covered quite a few nice some of the basic things. We've spoke very greatly about Joe's awesome game, Song of Iron. If you haven't already purchased it and you weren't fortunate enough to win a copy this evening, I certainly kind of advise you to go out and pick the game up. It is out there now on both Xbox and Steam in the UK and around the world. For UK, it's on Xbox Store currently at £16.79 or something crazy like that. That translates into $19.99 for everybody else in the US. And I think it's about €19 or something as well.
Yeah,
that it equates
exactly
to.
the same.
Yeah. So
just a couple of coffees, that is fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's worth
That's the way to think about it.
Exactly. A couple of coffees. Go and get it. It's one McDonald's takeaway.
Get us Song of Iron 2, guys. Buy the game. So Joe can start on the next one. Come on, buy it.
Definitely. But
and don't forget to write a review.
Yes,
please.
Yeah, especially on Steam.
Especially you Steam players.
Especially on Steam. Yeah.
Really helps on Steam. Really helps because it's a far different thing. On Steam's a whole nother ball game.
That's why I don't play on PC, to be honest.
Yeah. Dear me. But yes, massive congratulations again to our winners this evening of Song of Iron. That's Boy Rush 209, Perrin Pluck, Good Vibes Gamer, Christine Kitty, HTK360, and Sausage SOS. So make sure to follow me on Twitter below and drop me an inbox, and we will get the game sent over to yourselves. And then you can enjoy this awesome game. Again, definitely go out and buy it if you haven't already. Everybody else. But yes, massive thank you, Joe, for joining us again to celebrate your game again tonight. Absolutely awesome. It's been a pleasure both having you on the show over the months and the last year. Speaking to you and an awesome friend, but another awesome up-and-coming ID creator and developer. Really bright future for you, Joe, honestly.
Thank you very much.
Massive thank you to you. And if you let people know where they can find you and where they can find your game, I think we've pretty much covered it. But
we've smashed it pretty good, yeah. Twitter at Song of Iron, but yeah, pretty much searching, you'll find me now. It's sort of popped up pretty good now, but I really appreciate you having me on again and being such a friend to the game and a friend to me, and it's wonderful. It's very, 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 very appreciated. Glad you liked it. That's the most important thing, that people enjoy the game. Otherwise, you don't want me on here. You'll get rid of me quick. No, but I really appreciate it. It really means the world to me. So thank you.
No, that's absolutely no problem. Absolutely no problem. If you want to find out, not only go and follow Joe on Twitter at Song of Iron, of course, and with no doubt, fingers crossed, as long as this game does well, you will see future updates on a sequel, and any other plans he has for it. Final one, actually, Joe, before you go. I know you mentioned you were, obviously it hasn't been officially marked as Series X/S enhanced. Are you kind of still rounding up potential check marks to get that marked on there as well?
Yeah, that's definitely on the list of things to do. What that time scale is, I'm going to have to figure out in the next couple weeks as I kind of balance things out. But it is aware of the system, so it's definitely running higher resolution, higher everything on the better systems and stuff. But whatever extra little checkboxes I need, I'll have to sort through and get done. But I definitely want to. Definitely part of the plan.
Sweet, awesome
Nice.
stuff.
Yeah.
Next up, Vin. If you let people know where they can find you, brother, and what you're going to be up to this next, this next day. Go on.
Next day, yeah. Oh yeah, tomorrow, of course. Yeah, tomorrow for the show. Yeah, you can find me on almost everywhere on Twitter, Twitch, Xbox, PlayStation as Hertog Vin X. Hertog Vin X. If I got time, I will continue Grandia 2. That's the next game I started on my Twitch after Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna play Song of Iron as well again on Twitch.
Yes.
As well. And
Nice.
to help Joe, I'm gonna give away 1 copy as well tomorrow on the Twitch stream.
Very nice.
Tomorrow in the afternoon, I think, because in the morning I'm very busy. So it will be in the afternoon. I will stream it and we'll give away 1 copy as well. And well, my father has a new girlfriend, so I can't wait to meet my new stepsisters. So watch the channel for some new videos. Coming soon.
Wow.
Amazing.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
No, but I don't know if there's a surprise coming in, and I will be filming that as well. I don't know if that's this week or next week, but
Yes.
that will be filmed as well.
in the next 48 hours.
Yeah. So and that will be on the midweek mix-up channel. I will film that as well. It's a surprise from WandrinDutch, and I will film it and unbox it
Ooh.
and stuff. And Joe,
Nice.
thank you again for being on the show.
Of course.
Very much congratulations on the launch of the game. I hope you reached the target of 30,000 units. Your dream was a couple of months
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, hopefully we can do it.
I think you will reach it, and because the game is really good. The 2.5 hours I played, so
Thank you.
I hope to see you soon as we continue talking about Song of Iron 2.
Yeah, most definitely.
Definitely. I hope I get to talk about it. That's what I'm looking for that.
So thank you, Joe. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody again. Love you all. See you soon.
Awesome stuff. Next up, Patchia. If you let people know where they can find you, brother, and what you've got coming up.
Well, you guys can find me on Twitter. As you guys know, Xbox, Twitch as well. And I'm gonna spend some time on the channels of MWMU, known as Spearplug, and I'm gonna help Hertog Vin as well out with their channel. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What I've been up to, I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna stream some games in a few days. I don't know, Psychonauts, Apex.
Song of Iron.
Yeah, the Song of Iron, probably. Yeah.
Anything and everything
But
on there. Whatever you want to play.
yeah, like whatever I want to play. Yeah. So, but also Joe, I want to thank you again also for joining the show tonight. It was amazing to see, the last year, the development of the game. It was pretty awesome to see how it all works and what you did. So yeah, man, big congrats again, and
Thank you.
yeah, I hope you'll get your target.
Thank you very
Pretty
much.
nice. So yeah.
Sweet, awesome stuff. I think both myself and Boom and now Vin, we've chopped off quite a few copies there.
Yeah,
we're
you guys are
getting
incredible.
We're getting there. Like we've got five tonight. Vin's got 1 tomorrow, and Boom gave 10 yesterday. So it's a good chunk. We're digging into
10?
that 30,000 copies.
Boom gave 10.
10. Yeah,
Boom gave 10. Wow.
he gave
Oh,
10 copies
shit.
out.
Madden.
Crazy.
Both of you guys.
So we're definitely digging into it. Shomberlon, if you let people know, brother, what you've got coming up, hopefully you get a chance to do a little bit of gaming and get your head out of the books for a bit. But let people know where they can find you as well.
Oops.
Yeah, you can find me on Xbox and Twitter as Shomberlon. If you want to know what Vin's getting, spoiler, it's a 2022 WandrinDutch calendar.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
it's
just a personal calendar for 2022.
Personal calendar of many different beard styles.
oh, not the end credits of Song of Iron, where there's special thanks to WandrinDutch.
Just send you a printed copy. You're signed.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm happy with everything.
But yeah, it's been good to have Joe on. I think it's the third or fourth time we've had you on. And it's just been really good to talk about, from when you're first talking about the characters and the development and the problems you were having with some of the animations, to actually now that it's released and it's out in the wild.
It's crazy.
It's been a good journey. It has been, well, for you, it's been a good journey, and it's just, for us, just been able to follow it and see you on other community podcasts and stuff talking about your game, which is good. And I think it's really nice just how the community has come and kind of almost, I don't know what the word would be, not picked you up, but kind of
rallied. Yeah,
rallied behind, and kind of seen what your vision for the game is and really run with it.
Yeah, I appreciate it so much from everybody. I mean, it's such a hard thing to portray in a lot of ways, and talking about something that you're so close to, it's tough. And having everybody kind of wanting it to succeed is just the best feeling. It's incredible.
Most definitely. Absolutely awesome. And last but not
you
least,
deserve it, Joe.
He does. You do, Joe. You do. It's what it is, and this is what I've said before. And we've had a number of, and this is why I love personally working with indie developers as well, because it's a breath of fresh air. Speaking to them in this so down to earth, and Joe, you absolutely no disservice to yourself with how composed and down to earth you are as well with regards kind of what you do, and you're very humble. But it's absolutely great to see, and fingers crossed, your game is such a success, because you deserve it.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Last but not least, Boxenberger. If you let people know where they can find you, brother, and what you're going to be up to over this next weekend. I know you've got a little message from Xbox as well that you're happy about.
Yeah, my console is back on its way. Yes.
Oh, that's it.
That's the message. I was also scratching my head. What does he mean? Did I miss something? No. My console is back on its way. Yeah. So let's hope UPS comes here soon. But yeah, I want to also take the opportunity once again to congratulate you, Joe. It must have been really stressful the last days and weeks, coming so close to the launch and then launching the game. And you've done a wonderful job, not just with the game, also with the way how you interacted with the community and everything. It's been a blast following you. We've said it on the show, but I want to emphasize that again. Not many developers are that open with the community about the development process. They are not that humble. You definitely deserve the praise you are getting right now, and I do hope that it will also be a commercial success for you.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, definitely, sure. Okay, and people can find me basically everywhere at Boxenberger. Yeah, just like the name here on screen. And I think the link is also in the description down below to everything, the YouTube channel and Twitter and everything. So yeah, I've a couple of videos coming up probably next week. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that on the channel. It's gonna be some awesome days over the next weeks. Gaming season has started, friends. It's awesome.
Yes,
yeah, so much to play right now.
Yes, most definitely.
And last but not least, where can we find you, WandrinDutch?
Yes,
what are you up to?
Most definitely. Well, I've got a couple of things I want to cover over, and obviously Pat spoke about it at the beginning, but I'll speak about it a little bit more now. So, Midweek Mix-Up used to be kind of streaming on all platforms. We opted to just go primarily for the podcast onto YouTube. That was a little while back, but we don't have a Twitch presence per se, but we do have a lot of our Twitch, our panel members as Twitch streamers. So going forward, Pat is now head of Twitch content creators for Midweek Mix-Up. He'll be overseeing kind of the Twitch platform and creators on there that primarily focus on streaming. So right now, we have Hertog Vin, we have Patcher, and we have Pelham Pluck as the three key streamers over on Twitch under the Midweek Mix-Up. Pat will, as head of Twitch content creators for Midweek Mix-Up, will also be helping those get up and running, get their streams going, of course, underneath the Midweek Mix-Up family, but also finding some awesome up-and-coming content creators as well to bring into the fold and help them grow as part of our family. So he is in charge of our Twitch family now going forward.
Let's go.
So let's go. It's going to be awesome. And like I say, Pat's had a big rise himself on Twitch since he started streaming there into affiliate now. And I think he's now got the experience and the knowledge to be able to help get a lot of other smaller creators up and running and onto the platform. And obviously under ourselves, I think it's going to do really well. Secondly, we have another show tomorrow, if people weren't aware. So we're doing 2 Midweek Mix-Ups this week. And another ID at Xbox developer, another solo developer, Kalichi, and I'm going to probably slaughter his name. Sorry about this if I do. Kalichi Apakama, a London-based developer for ID at Xbox game Stormlight, which is an open-world RPG, and it looks absolutely awesome. Joe, have you seen it yet?
The name sounds familiar, but I'm not
remembering too sure as yet.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is Joe blindness to the outside world kicking in big time.
Yeah. But
apologies.
No, it's all right. He's going to be on the show tomorrow, and it's the first time he's been on a podcast as well for himself. I think it wasn't too dissimilar from you, Joe. Actually, when you first came on, you hadn't. Really
I think it was my second one or something. I had done like one before maybe, but yeah, I've definitely got my feet under me a bit more.
You did a lot lately. Huh?
Yeah, I've been going through them now. I've got my thing down pat. And I can dodge and weave better and all that.
No, it's been awesome. But yes, it's his first time appearing on a podcast, so that'll be absolutely awesome. And Stormlight looks really promising as well. Again, what we love to do is promote these up and coming ID at Xbox creators, and especially the humble ones as well. Kalichi's a really cool guy. I've been speaking to him in the DMs a little bit recently as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that game and obviously the community. So much like we have Joe, and of course he's an awesome friend. Rally behind these ID creators, these indie developers, because these are the future of games. Without indie developers and indie companies creating these experiences, the medium isn't going to evolve. It's going to just stay where it has been. It's because of indie developers that we see these new experiences and something different and these brand new stories. So make sure everybody supports them. Absolutely awesome. And again, same for Joe, same for Kalichi. But we'll be back same time again tomorrow at 7 o'clock right here. With that second ID at Xbox interview with Kalichi for Stormlight. But thank you, everybody. You can find me on Twitter at WandrinDutch, and of course here at WandrinDutch. Thank you again to everybody. It's been an absolutely awesome evening. Thanks again to Joe and our awesome panel, and we will see you all again next time. Goodbye, guys.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
See you later.